for our Bible lesson, we're going to have a today's life story. And in some of today's life stories, it's usually about children that are not real people, but could have a realistic fiction. But today, our Bible story is about a missionary, and she was a real missionary, and her name was Jenna Fields Wright. And this story is from an experience in her life. And so the title of today's lesson is called Jesus is Praised. It says, I grew up in a missionary family in Paraguay. In March of 1985, when I was 8 years old, we visited Chile, that's a country, for a pastor's conference. Hundreds of people from different South American countries filled the tall, long dining hall. Our family of 5 could not find seats together that Sunday evening. Not long after the meal began, the ground began to shake, and it was shaking as it had many times that week. Sometimes there might be a tremor where it shakes a little bit, and then an earthquake would be a bigger shake. Most people thought it was just the expected tremors in Chile. The cups on the tables started to rattle against the plates. The plates and the silverware shook and added to the noise. We all looked at the people around us to see what they were doing. The waiters in the dining hall assured everyone that it was just a passing tremor, something that was normal in Chile. The waiter's calm appearance did not make us calm. The shaking only grew worse. Suddenly, someone stood up with his family and headed towards the door. The waiter shouted, "Stay seated, it will be over soon." Glass windows and tables started shaking, and the crowd stood up almost at the same time. Everyone rushed for the doors. 3 people crawled under a table. Someone fell to the ground, and hardly anyone noticed. He soon recovered and found his way out. Others were separated from their families and were calling out others' names. I was with my mother and my 3-year-old brother. My father and older sister were sitting somewhere else and found their way out while they tried to find us. We had never been in an earthquake before. My mother, brother, and I ran through a sandy playground under some electrical lines. We did not know that the lines could have fallen on us while the earth shook. The worst part of the earthquake lasted only a few minutes, but it seemed that it would never end. All through the night, the earth continued to shake a little, just like it had throughout the week. Christians gathered to pray and sing in an open space by the ocean shore. After the major part of the earthquake was over, some of the men brought out thin foam mattresses from the cabins, and we spent the night outside. Some of us slept, but many stayed awake. A tsunami was expected to come to the very shore where we were spending the night, but we had nowhere else to go. A tsunami is caused after the earthquake, and it makes a really, really big wave that comes. Most of us had come in large buses from other countries, and it was just as dangerous to travel as to wait for a possible tsunami. Many Christians spent the night praying, and God sent the tsunami in the opposite direction, means not towards them. It never reached the Christians on Chile's shore. We praise the Lord by praying and singing. God chose to keep us on the earth to serve Him a little while longer. Other people around that area saw how God kept His people from harm. Now let's have our questions. What did the waiters tell the people in the dining hall? that the shaking was just a passing tremor and to stay seated. That's right. What did the Christians do once they were all outside? They were praying and they were singing. How did God display that He is the Lord and is in control of all things? Yes. God protected His people by sending the tsunami in the opposite direction. For what reason did the Christians think God had protected them? So that they could serve Him on earth. Thank you and have a blessed day.